And it's not doing it. All right. Do I want to install updates now? No.
Nobody does.
Well, since we're ripping this directly from YouTube, hello and welcome to RCR Podcast. I forget the number.
Number 58.
Number 58.
Welcome to the MUN.
Get me to the MUN.
Oh,
feedback.
Feedback.
Oh, that's right. I need my tablet because...
Let's see. All right, 1 second. I am just going to go share this. I keep looking into this and realizing that you guys are over there, not here. The questions are here. Things.
Thank you for sticking with us with the microphones on the iBook folding computer. I'm going to use some of your Patreon money to go buy a USB mixer, which hopefully next time will solve all of our microphone problems. And we will have not only a computer that doesn't freeze up, but we will be able to use our microphones again, and it's all going to sound good.
Yes.
I need to get to my YouTube page so I can see the comments easier than doing this. And for those of you just listening, I just craned my hand in front of the laptop screen. My channel.
Yes.
And hello to everybody. Another Levin's Run. Someone just said F to be cute.
Nice.
What is this? RCR plays Kerbal Space Program. No, I'm not really good at Kerbal Space Program, and I'm still trying to...
Automation. I always get too much knock in my...
Engines knocking, cut back. No, still knocking, cut back.
No.
We're all dying, Ethan.
Paul Newman's going to have my legs broke.
Okay, so I know why stop at the moon when you can go to Minmus, the other moon of Kerbin. So this is our first podcast together after I got back from New Zealand, my personal trip to New Zealand.
Yes.
And there's plenty to talk about there. I need some whiskey to get me going. I also want to talk about Ryan Gosling's, or maybe I should really just say the director. I don't even know.
Damien Chazelle.
Okay.
Rhymes with Gazelle.
The movie First Man,
yes,
which I saw on the plane. And here's my summary of First Man. I'm Ryan Gosling. I want to go to the moon. I'm Mrs. Gosling. You're a bad husband. Oscar.
Yeah, that was a very Oscar bait movie, but also people went into it expecting... I
should have said Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, people went into it expecting a very...
No, you can have that there. I'm just picking up rice off this table.
A very... biopic version of Neil Armstrong's life, which involves sort of the moon landing and all of that other everything ancillary surrounding it. But the problem is that what people got was more of a reflective character piece about grief.
Yeah,
and the people felt like they were sold a bill of goods.
Yeah,
and it's the movie that traumatized literally anyone who has ever done a performative art of any kind. And it's just one of those things where you think you're getting the college version of a music biopic where you see the rise and fall and the rise again. And you do get that, but you get it in a very messed up kind of way. And it's brilliant. Like, I love that movie, but it's also one of those movies that's so good you don't really want to watch it again after you see it.
First Man or Whiplash?
Both.
Okay.
First Man, IMAX over in Reading. I had to see it when it was downscaled to one of the smaller theaters.
Okay.
But it still felt like a cinematic experience worth seeing on a screen,
I would have had to. I was so glad I had volume control over those headphones on the plane, because seeing this in the movie had to be deafening.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Like, loud, like when I went to see Blade Runner, also Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Whatever theater I was in with Matt Walsh, that was loud. They had the volume cranked. So, and that sort of took over the experience. And The sound effects of First Man is just airplane noises. Everything's rattling. And then theremin worked in there in the background. I didn't know. Everything's loud.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people need the difference explained a lot of the times between sound effects editing and sound mixing. And it's more of, one is the creation of sounds and one is how you leveling and mixing and all that other stuff. And that's why sometimes you'll have a set of nominees on one side and a completely separate set on the other side. But yeah, it was kind of weird First Man, that experience, because it wasn't at all what I was kind of expecting, even knowing the filmography of Damien Chazelle going in. So
Ryan Gosling looks with big eyes. The movie.
Gotta have the long-suffering wife role too.
Yeah,
it's just
which is like a staple of every going to space movie.
Yeah. Or it's either the wife or the daughter that they're leaving behind. They even parodied this in this Bell commercial about nacho fries, where what's his name? James Marsden is going to Mars or somewhere to retrieve nacho fries.
Okay.
And it's a fake movie trailer, but it shows the whole thing of, playing around with the daughter and promising he's going to come back in a very Armageddon, Interstellar kind of way. Don't want to close my eyes. Whatever happened to Aerosmith anyway? They just disappeared.
I listened to Steve Tyler give a very spiritual interview on Rogan, like last winter.
Yeah.
He was on, and he talked at length about meaning and existence in a very scatterbrained kind of way. I mean, the man's in his 70s. Is he 70?
And, your connection is unstable. Please wait while we reconnect. That's wonderful. All right, so we're back. I think we're back. Someone earlier asked if I had a DSLR.
Everybody's going F, but it's working on my.
It's
it's potato vision on the laptop, and all right, let me close my. Oh, man!
All right, I think it's. Are we back? Are we back? When I edit this, I'll just cut at the part where you go to get whiskey.
Yeah.
And then it'll be, but.
All right, it's working on my tablet.
Yeah, it's working on my phone. Yeah.
Man, I don't have a whole lot of time left with this hair.
Did you look at any of those thickening shampoos?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Get them thick. Lustrous. I mean, the thing is, you can put off the book. Like, I can't because my head shape is too weird. Like, it looks okay on camera, but trust me, it's weird. Someone earlier asked if I have a DSLR of my own that I use for the videos. Literally, my videos are just filmed with my phone and my GoPro. Because that's all. I mean, my phone, it's a Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus.
Right.
So it's got a pretty good camera in there, like by my estimation. And then, I just have my GoPro, which I've always had, except I got a new casing for it because the old one snapped. And then when I was reviewing my aunt's car, the replacement that I got for it, like it was riding on the back, the rear spoiler, of course, the spoiler on my Mustang, and it fell off, and then my aunt ran over it with her car. So it's hilarious, and it'll be the start of the video for that review. So yeah, that'll be fun. It's just a lot of learning how to do different things, maybe like buy a different shot. And it's all in relatively familiar territory for me, although I did film one in a fairly unfamiliar spot, but I scoped it out beforehand.
That's
so it's nice to kind of have these things. Now, so far, the plan is for me to do a Roman review that is every other Thursday.
Okay.
So my friend's car is next Thursday. And then, you know, I think one of my reviews is needed for a Monday.
Yeah, because I'm flying down to Orlando Sanford to hang out with Tavarish. Not next week. Not the week after. There's nothing next week. Is me going down to Orlando, and it just cut out on my lap.
Yeah, it's going nutty on my phone too.
All right, so I'm going to turn off my computer. So I don't know if there's something.
So that it's not.
Well, it's sleeping, so it's not pulling any.
Oh, it's back. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I want to get to a point where there will be some weeks where we have 2 reviews a week. My video style, it's still RCR because we both write RCR, so it's more or less going to be the same type of video. It's just, I don't care as much about whether they look good or not, like the shots, shot composition, frame composition, all that other stuff. I just want to film really weird and random stuff that my family and friends have. And so the first 2 or 3 that I enjoy doing now, because when you were gone for the 2 weeks and I was sort of making my own videos, I had a lot of fun doing it. So why not just keep doing it? And we're right back to F's.
All I did was move the computer. Yeah. Also, the fans just kicked on the computer really hard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And now we're back to you good.
Nerf Guy on the Beach. Thank you for your donation. 2013 Ford Focus 5-speed. The official car of I drive for Lyft or Uber, but I want something manual, and hopefully I get a compliment from somebody getting in the car that I am driving stick shift.
Very nice.
Never mind, don't line up too good on one of these things, or don't line up too well. I'm still buying it because it's cheap. Von Waffensberg, hello. What's up, guys? Recently bought a 2013 Boss 302 Mustang. What are your thoughts and opinions about said Mustang? When did they go to the 5.0? 2015?
Yeah, I believe. Wait, no. Yeah, it's 2015, right? Yeah.
It was one of the first auto shows we ever went to, and it was also the first time when the new Coyote motor came out.
Yeah, and I feel like that.
Because I remember Fiero was talking about it.
Someone in the chat will know. Oh, I have 2011, 2013. Oh, 2011. So there we go. It's hard.
So 5.0 came out. The new 5.0 was 2011. Huh. I thought it was much. You're thinking Voodoo? Yeah, what I'm talking about is when did the dual overhead cam Coyote motor come out? Now, if this is the old Boss 302 that was a derivative of the modular, I don't think much about it. If you buy it and you love it, great. It's a 3-valve modular. There are modifications you can do to that. Work keeps me away from these things too much. I mean, if you like it and you got it for a good price, and have fun with it. Or,
Yeah. I mean, there's
whatever, man.
Yeah, it's you're here to live for you.
Matt Richter, thank you for your donation. Road tripping to Boston, West Virginia with my family next week. Stopping halfway Harrisburg-ish. Anything cool we should go to there? 2 things I can recommend in Harrisburg. If you like beer, go to Trogs. Now, neither of these things are in Harrisburg. These are in Hershey. Wait, you're going to West. Okay, because you're coming from Boston. So okay, you're gonna drive through Harrisburg and continue on down on 81. So swing by Hershey and just go to Hershey Park, and you can ride and with the family. Okay, so you need family fun. So you can go to Hershey Park and ride Chocolate World for free.
You can go into Chocolate World and do nothing else and not have to pay anything for your experience there. Because when I first started taking my nephew to Hershey Park when he was around 4, when we first went into Chocolate World, now I had already bought the tickets for Hershey Park at the Giant because that's where you get the best deals, the supermarket chain. And basically, once we got there, he wanted to ride Chocolate World so many times that I realized, like, damn, I bought these tickets for nothing. Like, I mean, we still went in and had a really good time at the park, but if I had told him this is the park and this is it, like, he would have believed it. He was 4. Like, what am I thinking?
Wait, he was 4?
4 or 5. Like,
oh, okay, yeah. It's a ride, and by the time they get to the end of it, they forget the beginning of it.
Yeah. Now, they changed it and made certain parts of it, digital screens, which is kind of stupid, but it's still Hershey Park. It's still Chocolate World. It's good times. Yeah. Rock and roll.
Michael Sheridan, in parentheses, Mex Hall, says, thank you for your donation. Looking for a new car. Thoughts on a ZX5 versus Mark IV GTI? Both 5-speed, things to note. College senior. See, both of those are aspirational cars, and you're coming off of a Ford Ranger with 200,000 miles on it. You need a hatch because of a bass drum. You need a Honda Fit. You're in college. Now's not the time for performance vehicles. Now's the time for something really reliable that isn't going to break and cause damage. So you're buying a Honda Fit. You're buying neither of those things. You're not buying something with a turbocharger in it.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to buy something that's going to cause jealousy from somebody who has daddy issues, like a male with daddy issues who hates the success and acquisitions of others. Buy a Honda Fit. You'll get a bass drum in that. Plenty.
Yeah. And how?
And thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Fiero fan 86. Follow Limited Time Roman.
Hey! We just put out a new... Okay, so cheap plug. It's my personal YouTube channel, which I just do with my nephew, which we review random limited time only food stuff. Now, granted, we haven't done that in like a month. All our videos are just random things, whether it's reviewing a toy or reviewing the experience of the weekend. And so, yeah, that was fun, of just like having a weekend and documenting, what it's like to have a weekend. But today, the video that I put out was Nate, my nephew, reviewing his toy cars and basically revealing what his dream car is, which is hilarious because he has to, he'd have to be a doctor to be able to afford this thing. Like, it's ridiculous. And he has this whole fleet of toy cars that he's just like, these are my toy cars. And, and so it's him going off on like what he loves about this car and the things he would like to sort of, do if he had one, or even if he didn't have one, like the things he would like to do. And that's why I'm taking him to the New York Auto Show, because I figured like, when you just give him the experience of being able to like, hey, there's one.
Are you getting him in on press day? Or
no. I'm going to take him up like that Saturday.
So we're going to see each other on different times then.
No. I'm still going up on press day.
Oh, you're going. Okay.
Yeah, because I can write that off. The thing with the nephew, not so much. Yeah, but good times. Yeah,
I'd write off anyway. You'll make one Instagram post. Technically, it's
yes, my opinion.
Asian Redneck 2008. Thank you for the very generous donation. And it's a Roman question.
Oh, is it? Let's see. Roman, past RCR stories helped me through a 5 a.m. stint. Thank you. You are very welcome. Glad you enjoy them. Also glad to see Mr. Regular is back safe. Y'all be easy. Thank you very much. They basically what happened when the whole unfortunate tragedy in Christchurch happened, I got tagged by a lot of people sort of asking if you were okay. And I'd spoken to you like an hour earlier. And so I was just kind of reassuring people. That's kind of how
I was on the North Island.
Yeah, that's how I found out about that horrible, awful, miserable thing.
I was in the kitchen of the Johnson's house with Bryce and Juliet, and Bryce got a text on his phone about this thing that was happening. And I was like, huh. And the thing that I thought about was I just went into the Yankee version of it, which is, well, here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go again. But they never had it, here we go again.
Yeah.
They were like, last major shooting was, I don't know when, 20 years ago. So this is new for a lot of them, and in a very Kiwi way, they kept on smiling. And the very next day, we were all going to run a relay race. They had a relay for life, one town up, and it goes all night. And our stint was like 11 a.m. to like 1 a.m. or something like that, just to run laps around this field. And we were there for the start off and the kickoff, and the mayor of the town was there, and a few people said a few words, but they were all just focused. They hit the beats of love, respect, forgiveness, and understanding. There were no calls for revenge, and the tropes that normally follow this, and no one said thought and prayers, to my knowledge. And then the I think like this middle school class or something came in, and they did a haka, which I felt like a white guy watching because I was enjoying it, but then I thought, am I racist for enjoying it? And I know the answer is no, because it was very strange, and the kids were like into this.
Yeah.
This synchronized.
It's
okay, we're Yankees. There's no frame of reference for what a haka is.
Yeah.
Just like that one YouTube video of like the American rugby team or some other team, because most teams do it down there. Most Kiwi teams do it. The American hockey team just kind of going, the heck is this? They're crossing their arms. They're turning their head slightly, which means the haka's working.
Yeah.
But
it's just this explosion of emotion in physical form.
Yeah.
And that's why I think
and it's unified.
Yeah.
Because America is all of the triumph of the individual.
Yeah.
Where most other countries, it's group effort.
Yeah, we're a team.
Yeah.
None of that bucket crab mentality.
Yeah. So anyway, back safe. And a few people wanted to talk about it, but most just think, well, it's sad and we'll see what happens. And I got to listen to people from both Wellington and the Wairarapa who had different opinions about it. The Wairarapa is sort of their Midwest. It's my best approximation for what the Wairarapa area is around Featherston, Greytown, Carterton, Masterton, maybe out there to the lighthouse. So anyway, thank you so much, Asian Redneck 08. It's very generous of you.
I wonder if good-looking honky in the chat really is the legendary Peter North, the porn actor.
Okay.
I don't know how I know.
Okay.
I just know Peter North. If you watch enough of that, enough adult films, you're gonna start to recognize some of the dudes. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things.
Okay, another Roman question.
Oh, cool. Roman, can you make a guitar tutorial for your song "A Bridge Too Far"? I listen to it all the time and can't figure out how to play it. Well, the trick is that basically do whatever a beginner would do for the most part, which is they are all, I think it's like a minor, they're all minor chords, except for, like, yeah. It's like C, G, A minor, and then D minor and A minor for like it's just it goes on that way. Except I have my capo typically for A Bridge Too Far on the 4th or 5th fret. So yeah, it's kind of it's weird. I write these songs and I never really write down the chords that I use because once I have it, like it's up here and I'm never going to have to like use it again because it's not like I'm playing these songs live. Like I don't play them at open mics just because I would be playing them to utterly puzzled people who would not have any idea what it is they're listening to or why. So it's just funny because Well, I did Different Kinds of Stars at a Christmas open mic, and a lot of people like thought that was a really, really cute song. And it is a really cute song. Like, it's one of the songs that I'm super proud of because I think it's the one sort of song that, yes, it kind of has to do with the car, but it doesn't have to. You don't have to be a car person to really get anything out of it.
Right.
But yeah, it's good times.
Good times. Great oldies. It used to be 99 The Hawk, but now they're classic rock. I forget what the oldies station is around there.
98.1, the Yankee. I don't know what it's called.
Von Waffensberg, thank you for your donation. Why don't I see these podcasts on iTunes anymore? You will. This one's gonna go up. I only get RCR stories. Well, we're gonna put these podcasts up again. Nick has to rip the audio when he gets home because again, I'm too lazy because I didn't plug the Zoom H4 in because the mixer here isn't plugged in because we found out that the audio port, the headphone port on this Mac Rihanna, whatever model this is, doesn't have any analog audio in. It has to go in through USB.
Yeah. I think what the person is sort of thinking is that they think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Von Waffensberg.
Yes.
Was it? Yeah. Is that they think that we've still been doing these podcasts and they're just not showing up.
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, like we just haven't done this podcast in a month because Brian's been in New Zealand, and once he got back, there was too much that we both still had to do in terms of editing, filming, whatever, to be able to like get back to doing the podcast. So the reason you're only seeing RCR stories is because those are the only things that I got around to posting in the offing. And so just so that there would be something up there on the feed.
Yeah.
And now tonight's podcast will go up there it'll go up like either tonight or tomorrow. It just depends on, like if the stream crashes again, if I can like cobble it together into something that'll actually work, which shouldn't be a problem. I mean, come on, but still, thank you very much for the donation and the question.
Boris TS, Carl of, I remember you. Hey, I'm finally able to see you guys live again. Welcome back to the States, Mr. R. Good to see you, and good to see you too. And Roman, you are one of my favorite modern narrators. Great hook/intro for the Cars for Clunkers story. Yeah, I hope that one stays up there for a while because that's a story that needs to be told because it's referenced so often, but not many people knew the politics that went into this and why suddenly people are all excited to see like bullshit cars from the 90s now, which were all done with by then.
Yeah, big thanks to Steph Schrader for helping with the research on that. She was incredibly valuable. Like she's totally the MVP of that video because the original draft was just a mess of not misinformation, but old information. So, which is just as bad because, well, yeah, it is misinformation. Because I had this list of cars that had been scrapped as a result of Cash for Clunkers. And then I spent the time sort of eulogizing these cars in a very car show kind of way of just like, this is the official car of guys who blah, 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 blah. And this was a wonderful car. Here's a little bit about its history. It's the official car of blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And did that for like 2.5 pages. And then Steph was like, well, actually, this car was saved. This car was spared. This car is still out there. And so I was able to cut that part of the narrative out and sort of really rein things in because my goal was to keep it. Well, I told you like when I first started that the goal was to make it 25 minutes. And by the time it was like really narrowed down, it was 45, which I almost actually cut that intro that the guy really liked because I thought, well, is this really contributing to the narrative? But then I think I have to put this in a way that people are going to sort of relate with in the sense that if you are a teenager after Cash for Clunkers, you're going to have a very different experience of going shopping for your first car than anybody had Precash for clunkers.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Precash for clunkers. Just buy something.
Buy whatever. And if it falls apart, who cares?
Yeah.
You spent peanuts on it.
Yeah.
Or just go down to the AutoZone or the Pet Boys and get whatever you need to get it up and running again.
Yeah.
It's not this big to do, but suddenly, now you have people ending up in just destroying their credit score over some thing that isn't necessary for them to do.
They're financing used cars.
Yeah, which is insane.
It's saying, yeah.
They're
leasing used cars. Okay, good. And the language they use, like, certified pre-owned. It's a used car.
There are very predatory practices in some used car dealerships.
Yeah.
Some dealerships are very, respectable, honorable, all that other stuff, but some others will really like bone you on the financing. And so they always say never to finance from a dealership, like go to a bank if you have to, because at least then, neither is ideal, but also it's like I say in the video, these people, just because you fall into debt doesn't mean that you took on that responsibility without the ability to pay. Like you could have taken on the payments in good faith, and then, things just happen.
Right.
Like maybe you'll lose your job, or maybe you have somebody you care about in the hospital, and you're weighing your options. And at the end of the day, the car itself seems relatively microscopic in comparison. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. It's something that I hope they never try again. And I can't imagine them being the government being crazy enough to try something like that again. But still, it is what it is.
The Tar Man says, please don't review a Ford Probe. I used to own one and had to let it go because of rust issues. I want another one, a nice one, but I don't want the prices going up like crazy.
Oh,
it's kind of tough for me to find a Ford Probe. I mean, we're going to have to talk about this vehicle, but the car that was at one point going to be the Mustang, the replacement for it. And I mean, I'm going to end up at Ford Nationals again this year because of my Falcon, but I don't know what to do to make my which blank is best blank, and it's probably going to be which probe is best probe. Yeah. But there's going to be slim pickings in the probe department. There'll be like maybe 10 probes there.
It'd just be like a 30-second video. Which probe is best probe?
Well, there's 10 of them, so here we go.
Or just like going back over the same 10 over and over again. Like I don't know. It's just one of those things where, okay, well, we're going to the same events year in and year out, and so we have to find fresh things to say about the stuff that's there. Because sometimes you see stuff that you'd seen the year before. Yeah. And so it just ends up being this circular bit of, comedy that happens. So
Maya butt reeks. Nice.
I'm going to find you. I'm going to hang you by both your ears.
No question, but thank you for the $1. Hey, it's Workforce 520. Stuck at work. Hopefully can catch you guys after. Hey, man, like we hung out. Like I totally release you from having to donate money. I can't stop you from doing it, but thanks. While I was on my return trip.
Oh, cool.
He and I hung out in LA.
Very nice.
So, the brain specialist. Thank you for your donation. Hey, knowing you're a ska fan, Madness or the Specials? The Specials. Real Big Fish or Less Than Jake? Oh boy, I have more Real Big Fish song than Less Than Jake, but I do like Dope Man from Less Than Jake. Although I lean on Real Big Fish. Yeah, Real Big Fish over Less Than Jake. Force the fourth wave of ska. Pick it up, 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 pick it. Yeah, good. That could be a name of a band too, ska band called Force the Fourth. You could, but it would just be like Star Wars songs. Yeah, who knows when the fourth wave is going to be. But shout out to the slackers who keep doing it, and thank you for your donation, sir. What hat does the Roman wear? He has to buy special hats because his brain is large. Aaron Real, thank you for your donation, sir. Do you guys ever have phases with certain vehicles or brands that you've never had? You like them for a while and even think of buying one before deciding not to? No, I don't. I have phases of car. I have phases of cars that I like, but have never really got in a sort of car phase to the point of buying one. So, like brands you've never had, like every now and again, I want an El Camino. Nice. Every now and again, I start thinking about a Jeep, but I've never just gone out and bought a car on a whim because my garage is full. I mean, it excites me, the idea of doing the Lemons Rally again, because that means I get to buy a clunker. And if it dies, it dies.
In a very Ivan Drago kind of way.
Yeah. But no, I've never gone through a phase where I just I buy a car because it's a brand that I'm into. I like them for a while. I didn't even think of buying one, but decided not to. I think definitely it was the TJ Jeep I had in college, where I wanted a Jeep so bad, and I'm glad I didn't buy one because they're not that great off-road stock, and they're terrible on-road.
Yeah, I had sort of, growing up as a Ford guy, I had a love-hate relationship with Ford for a while. In that I was thinking, like, do I really want a Mustang? And it's like, well, you were a kid and you wanted a Mustang. Like, what? Like, 10-year-old Nick would be thrilled.
Yeah.
And then when I think about it, and I realize the reason I went with it is because it was still what Ford had been to me, as opposed to what it is now. Like the current Mustang, which I don't dislike it. It's just, it's a bit too Monster Energy for me. You know,
the happy headlights are gone.
Yeah, and now it's just Four Loko, and it's just, it looks like you put wheels on a Four Loko can, which just, do they even make Four Loko anymore? Or was it?
I saw it in stores out in LA, but I think the new Four Loko is like the new, when they brought Surge back. It's not the same.
Not the same, yeah, because you could die drinking the original OG Four Loko.
Fiero fan 86, thank you for your second donation. A Fiero is a good first car. I don't know what you're smoking. It's a terrible first car. It's a fiberglass body sports car with an anemic engine, built by a absentee General Motors who didn't want to make it too good because then it would be better than the C4 Corvette. The Jacob Shapiro says, I want a Probe, but not a Ford. Well, there's a delightful company called Bad Dragon who will send you all the probes you want in increasing girth. Iced Ink, dropping a Benjamin.
Damn, a hundo's out here.
My blood plasma paid for this. Aw. Both of us have
given plasma
for money.
In college, that was like, in state college, it was just, hey, now I can't remember the name of the company, but they would just, you're there, you get, you can make, the sign said you can make up to $200, but I've never met anyone who got anywhere close to that. You normally get like 25, 50, like in that range, and then go out and have a beer. You gave blood plasma. Hopefully it can have some use. It'll find a good home. I did it 2 or 3 times down at a place in Reading that I drove to.
Like, you got to drive past the Fairgrounds Square Mall, and then it's somewhere where the intersection tees. I watched, they just play movies in this big, like, auditorium, and there's just people just giving plasma. Real characters walking into that place. And I watched, it's a lot of, like, popcorn movies that they play. And I watched The Longest Yard with
Joey Diaz.
And Adam Sandler. Yeah. And it's just like chuckle movies. And then they also had Underworld there. They played that movie, which was weird. Like vampires, I guess. Someone had a joke.
It's the rare film series where I think I saw most of them in theaters, and I couldn't tell you what happened with single one of them, because they were all either dates or outings with friends who thought Kate Beckinsale was hot. And I thought, and hey, she still is, but like, I don't care about like the story of the vampires and the lichen and all this other stuff or whatever they were called.
Was that the movie where I think the male werewolf guy in human form rips the upper jaw off of?
I'm pretty sure it
wolf?
is.
It's something.
I just remember that in like the second or third one, there's this sex scene.
I just saw the first one. That's it.
Between Kate Beckinsale and Scott Speedman, and it's like so. I'm wondering how there isn't like how there's no contact there because I'm like the way that they're doing this, they're clearly both naked, and I know like you're gonna have a sock over it, or she's gonna have a merkin or something, but there's still like super intimate contact. I can't imagine how uncomfortable that would be, and God help you if you get aroused during it and you end up being like
tucking his dick up and just like hot dogging hot dogging the camel toe through whatever sort of lower body suit thing you have on there.
I'm just trying to like keep it down like the naked Jim Gardner.
Anyway, iced ink. My blood plasma paid for this. Didn't need the money, just bored. Well, you'd probably be the first guy in history who went to a blood plasma place because they're bored, not because they need grocery money. What is your least favorite stretch of road to drive on? My least favorite stretch of road is the Pennsylvania Turnpike going to and from Pittsburgh. I hate the Pittsburgh run. There needs to be something waiting for me, usually in the form of beer, at the end of it. And I think Tim Strickler moved. So he's not in Millvale anymore, but Justin Lowe still is.
That my least favorite part. Well, won't name the stretch because it's too close. But it's basically there was a line in one video about how it's like riding on top of an oatmeal raisin cookie, and for me, that's where that line came from. Of there's this stretch. It's maybe a mile tops, and I would have to drive it to get to my grandma's. And so every time I would drive along that, it's just but and you had no other choice but to take that road. And finally,
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and now
there's no dodging the potholes because it's all that.
Yeah, it's nothing but it's just completely cratered. Now they've completely fixed it now, but now that I don't need to use it anymore, which is just bull. It's just.
I'm sorry for laughing. What happened first? They fixed the road or grandma?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, laughter is it's comedy because Lord knows you're not going to.
Which came first?
The grandma.
Okay.
They didn't fix the road in time. So now it's completely. Now, granted, my barber is still in that area, but I don't need to take that road to get to the barber. I had to take the road to get to grandma. So it's just weird.
So Ice Think's vote for the worst road is I-55 in Memphis, Tennessee. Sharp curves, annoying hills, a speed limit that nobody obeys, and you're forced down to a one lane in some places. That's kind of like the 422 going down to Oaks. That's going to be under construction forever.
Yeah, no, they'll never
Phoenixville. It's terrible. And I like to obey the speed limit or stay near it. But then you're in this cattle chute going down there, and Mr. Diesel Cummins rusted out Dodge Ram is just up your ass with Jersey barriers on either side of you. Thank you so much, Ice Think. Now I really don't have an excuse to avoid getting the USB mixer so we can have our microphones back. Boris T.S. Carl again, review more Pontiacs. Well, they're in a limited supply now. What we really need is the Pontiac Grand Prix. Didn't do that one. And didn't do the older one. And I guess we can do a GTO. It'd be another Winga Dinga car. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you so much. I do want to see if there's anything in the question-wise in the normal chat, but so far it's just very nice people joining in on the conversation.
Yeah. Lincoln Highway stuck short ramps that go onto a 55-mile-an-hour highway that everybody goes 75 miles an hour. Is Lincoln Highway out in California? Yeah. Review a Plymouth Colt. What about a Sundance? Haven't done a Sundance. Also haven't done an Eagle Summit. Ooh, God, that's another. I think that's the next unicorn car is an Eagle Summit. Damn, because I almost had one of those as a first car. Test drove one. It was slow as balls.
I can believe that.
It was put your foot down, nothing. You know it's slow when a Neon's faster.
I would love
a second-gen Neon. AMC Spirit. There's a guy who offered up a Spirit. A Spirit is really just a gremlin totted up.
Yeah.
Again, yes, AMC Eagle.
AMC anything.
Yeah.
It's just because everything about AMC is
Lincoln
just so
Highway is
weird
Route 30. Oh, it's Route 30. Oh, down by Lancaster then. We've been on the Lincoln Highway. I'm fine with the Lincoln Highway. I accelerate like a madman going on those things. I'm up right up to $5,000 every time in my Forester.
What was that post that Matt Fiero made on Instagram about?
I'm gonna get more whiskey. I'm gonna pee. Actually,
do it because it was something, and now I can't remember what the post was exactly. But it's going to be here in 3, 2. Here it is. All right. So I guess on this, you literally can't drive the snake more than once out and back per 6-hour period in LA anymore. You get a $1,000 fine for littering, and then underneath that sign is no cruising 2 times past same point within 6 hours is cruising. Or wait, let me read. No cruising underneath 2 times past same point within 6 hours is cruising, which it just seems kind of silly to me. I mean, but then I don't really know what it's like trying to police those roads because, the people hoon their asses off around there. And, it's not exactly like a great, well, okay, it is a great experience, but also it's not.
I peed and I farted while I was peeing.
The average person farts between 13 and I believe 21 times a day. Yeah. Well, especially if you've been consuming Miller's Hot. But not that you have, but sometimes I kind of have that urge, the hot bologna that is calling out to you, but your body knows better. It's one of those things where I think, oh, and that bit about farting was actually that one Instagram post you made that was a quote about how I said that, I have all these butt facts, but they could be saved for a later review. I'm just like, I can't think of where to put this thing about, the average amount per day that a person farts, or the fact that, constipation expands the butthole. It's just, what would I ever use that for?
Aaron Real, thank you for your donation, says Jeep TJ as a daily? ? No deal. As a weekend driver, hell yeah. I have the stretched factory TJ and the ride is softer. Yeah, yes. Length in the wheelbase, it would be. I really thought of that. I didn't even know that. Oh, that's right. They stretched the TJ at the very end of it. I don't know if they called it the Unlimited or something like that. Frozen peaches.
Those do look delightful, once they've thawed, and then you're just getting a mouthful of peach.
Yeah.
Just like Bowser.
And then he fucked her. And the ride is softer. Ever had bellhop slam? I don't know what that is, or if it's a sex move.
Is it it sounds like a beer.
Yeah, I mean,
or some kind of ale, like that that thing that we had after the shoot on set, or that you had after the shoot on Saturday of the Welcome to PA or whatever it was, the IPA.
Yeah. Welcome to PAIP. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it looked nice. I like the branding.
I'm probably going to have that again and order those tacos again. They were good.
They did look good.
They were the correct amount of bar food.
And that woman walked up to us.
Oh, the one that had all the
plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she asked, were those tacos good?
And I'm like, yeah, they were.
Yeah, you know it.
And she goes, I think she was disappointed that she didn't get the tacos.
Yeah, it's like you're just the one that got away.
Yeah. This child's life. Thank you for your donation. Come to hashtag carsOnChat.freenote.net. Going deep with IRC. Yeah, ooh. I remember Internet Relay Chat.
Huh, so that's what it stands for. That's how not technologically advanced I am.
I've been trying to sell the old laptop, the one with the Misfit sticker on it, and all the other ones. I put a fresh install of Windows 7 on it, but I'm too lazy to put in the drivers. And I said that in this crazy Facebook marketplace ad. And it just said, hey, it was just, I tried to make the big, long, funny ad about it, but there literally is no drivers on that thing. It runs. I mean, it has Windows on it, but people are like, I need to get, and I said, it's a $50 laptop. Come on.
Yeah. It's funny. If you had put this on sale like a month ago-ish or so, or a little more than that, like my mom probably would have bought it because she wanted a laptop solely for the purpose of paying her bills online. So, but now all she ended up doing was paying $20 more than you were like selling it for to just get one of those. And then you pay your bills online and it's done.
She got an Amazon Fire?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I had gotten her one for Christmas last year because her phone is always dying because she lets the kids watch things on YouTube on her phone. I'm like, here, use this. And then also, it has all those streaming thingies you like. So you can watch Call the Midwife and Harlots. 2 shows that could not possibly be more different.
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
No lie. I actually, my mom got me into Little House on the Prairie for a brief period.
Really?
Earlier this year.
We're talking like the 70s or 80s show?
Yeah.
Shows to fall asleep to.
I've literally used it as that. I was just like, I'm going to put on an episode of Little House on the Prairie. I might hear Michael Landon softly crying in the background. I don't know, but I'm going to be lulled to a nice, peaceful, uninterrupted sleep.
I've been listening to all those people who shout out to the true heroes of America or the world who have been uploading old Bob Ross episodes. Yeah, putting those things on. I also sometimes listen to the 8-bit guy just talk about old computers it's on one click on my iPhone. Like I can barely hear it. Occasionally I'll listen to Sleep With Me. And then there's this one YouTube channel called Dr. Wildlife. And she is a biologist and just talks about science. And, but she rarely updates. So, I mean, not that I've listened to more than like the first 15 minutes of anything.
Yeah.
Like there's one that I didn't listen to because it's tapeworms. And I was like, I don't feel like listening to that. But just like it's liberating. It's liberating to listen to somebody talk about phylum and genus, knowing that I don't have to memorize the order and regurgitate it back up on a quiz on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the freedom of being able to learn something without expecting that someone is going to ask to learn it from you.
So, shout out to Dr. Wildlife on YouTube from a car channel. I think Julia Johnson knows you. Anyway, as I chew on a podcast, sorry, but I'm eating peaches slices out of a glass because this is how I don't drink soda, and I also have some seltzer water in here, which I will then add to these peaches and maybe even do a squirt of lime juice. Anyway, CM, $10. At what point do these donations transfer into me flat out paying for your flight to Indianapolis? Well, they won't, because when I come to Indianapolis next, I'm probably going to use up all my frequent flyer miles.
Oh, you're up there.
I'm up there where I can almost get a round trip flight ticket. It takes a while to build up American Airlines points. It does not take long at all for Hilton Honors.
No.
Now, granted, like Hilton Honors is like you need maybe $200 for a free night stay somewhere versus, a round trip plane ticket somewhere is like $400 to $600, $800, $1,000.
Yeah, but you got to be racking up those George Clooney miles. Where are you from?
I love that movie.
Here.
Yeah. I think I got to talk about this. So on my flight back to, and this is something Tony Airlines, shout out to that Instagram channel. Check out Tony Airlines. He's been on the podcast before talking about airplanes. So on my flight back to Philadelphia from Pittsburgh, I paid for this. I paid for my trip to New Zealand out of my own money, not RCR's coffers. And my idea is that if you're going on vacation, every single part of it should be a vacation, including the flight. My flight to New Zealand from LA to Auckland was not first class. That was just premium economy. I still got paid, and you still got a little footrest that came out.
Yeah.
But it was like, since I was paying for it for myself and not automation, like my premium economy was like a little bit better than Air New Zealand's coach.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't that much more money, and it was about the same. They did serve us two full meals, with knives and forks. And they had a midnight snack, which was strudel and ice cream. But it was like a microwave kind of strudel that came in a cardboard box and ice cream. Yeah, that's beside the point. The LA to Philly, that was domestic first class.
Yeah.
So, but my flight from LAX to PHL returning was on a plane that was being rerouted. Now, I learned this after the fact, why this happened.
Yeah.
But it was a Airbus A330 international plane, like the interior set up for international, which meant first class was the motherfucking pods. So I got in there and made the right turn like I'm used to.
Yeah.
And I saw, these aren't my seat numbers. Oh, I'm 1F. And I and I go through the galley and I see the pods. I'm like, no way. No. I'm in a pod. Now, normally this doesn't happen. Domestic first class is just the big seats. Yeah. International first class is the pod all to yourself.
Oh, man.
So I get in this, and I'm kind of sad that it's only a 4.5-hour flight, because going east in the U.S. takes less time than going west, because you're up in the jet stream and getting help. As because, winds, for those people outside the country, winds in the United States typically blow from west to east. That's when we watch the weather. You just see the weather coming across the country, west to east.
Yeah.
So when you're flying west, you're flying against the wind. So it's like 5 hours and 10 minutes. And on the way east, it's like 4 hours, 40 minutes or something like that. Anyway, it's not much, but it's something. So I get in this. The food was exactly the same. No hot nuts, though. I mean, I was kind of weird. No hot nuts. Something about the hot nuts.
I don't know what it is. Like,
hot nuts right away.
They give you a hot towel. They give you hot nuts.
We got the hot towel. Didn't get the hot nuts. But, like, you can, like, the way you're sitting right now, stretch out. You are not yet at the footrest.
Oh, wow.
Like, now, the way they cram everybody up in these pods is by angling them in. And I have this picture. I think I deleted it from my phone. I can't believe I did. But I had 3 windows for me. 3 of them. And I had this perfect shot of this other plane taking off going through the 3 windows.
Damn.
Now, in order to get to that footrest, you have to extend your pod down. You recline, but the seat doesn't recline. What happens is the base seat slides forward and the rear part follows it. So you're reclining, but you're making up the room by going forward. Your seat then folds flat and joins the footrest up there, and you can stretch out. But because it was a domestic flight, they didn't give you pillows.
Oh.
So I did catch some sort of like half nap, and then I watched First Man, and then I asked for a whiskey, and I got Woodward Reserve. And I only even drank one of, like, I asked for whiskey. He says, how do you like it? Neat, please. And they just gave me the glass and then, like, the 2 airplane bottles.
Yeah.
like, fine. And I drank one, and they came around with snacks. I had that, watched First Man. And I kind of got the whiskey headache, so I didn't drink the second one.
Yeah.
I think I drank it, like, in the airport. Like, I thought, like, maybe it would set off some sort of alarm through customs or whatever. Like, no, I got this on the plane. Yeah. But it did say for transport use only. And then I got through into LAX, and I'm there at remember when we were putting our SIM cards back?
Yeah.
At that sort of, like, little airport cafe thing. I'm there putting my SIM cards back. Some guy asked me for money for a bus, and I'm like, immediately back in the U.S.
Yeah.
Some guy just hustling within the departure and, like, the arrivals area, like, no longer in a secure part of the airport.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm back. And I said, sorry, all I have is New Zealand dollars. And he was like, oh, it was like his nose was all snotty and his lips were chapped. He was in bad shape. And then I get in my Uber and then have 2 days in LA. I was supposed to do the Smoking Tire podcast, but Fiero had to fly to New York City. And then I guess I kind of chased him on my plane, all maxing and relaxing as I got there. So that's whiskey number 2 for me. Whiskey number 3 is always dangerous because that's where I get my headache. I've noticed as I'm creeping up on 40 years old, it's like 2 drinks is where it is. It's like that's it.
I'm a 2 beer guy now.
Yeah.
Like I can't. They're too heavy to me now. In a weird way. Like I didn't used to feel that way before, and now 33. You're not 23 anymore. You're not slamming them like when in college. Just like.
I've never shotgunned a beer. Have you?
Yeah. It just. Physics does all the work. Like you're not even swallowing. You're eating.
All right.
You're doing it the way a duck eats. I'm just like
break it down for me how you shotgun a beer, because
no, we literally just like had it, and then they gave me a pen, something sturdy like one of those bank pens.
Okay.
That are on the chain.
Yeah.
But except not on the chain, and then you just stab it, and then you go before like it all gets everywhere. But of course. Once you do this, you're drunk enough that it's going to get everywhere. So, I mean, I reek the booze. Now, granted, I was 21 in my senior year of college. So, it's that whole, wait, was I 22? Yeah, I don't remember time. But basically, it's something where, you do it when you're sort of around other dudes. Because I went out to drink with, like, I had plenty of female friends, and we would go out to drink with, like, in a group with male friends or whatever, or be at a house party or something with a group of male friends and female friends mixed together, and nobody would ever do that. And then the minute it's just the dudes, like, oh man, the animal comes out. It's just, they don't even care. They're just like,
some guy does Stone Cold and has the 2 of them does it together.
Yeah. Or they do the Sandman thing from ECW, just crushing it on their head, and it's just kind of crazy that my body hurts thinking about how I used to put them down.
Do you remember when some beer brand, I forget what it was, tried to make a factory like shotgun tab? But it was on the top of it. You were supposed to put your key into it.
Huh.
It was some way. It was like an additional hole to let air in as you drank.
If it's a gimmick, I want to assume it was Heineken because they also did the keg can.
I remember the keg can.
But yeah, I just and then I don't know.
Heineken isn't a shotgunning beer though. It had to be like Coors Light or something.
Yeah.
When the mountains turn blue, it's cool. Oh, it was Miller?
Yeah.
Was it Miller Genuine Draft or Miller Lite? It's probably Miller Lite.
Probably.
Miller Lite, out of all the light beers, is still my favorite. Like, they have it on airplanes, and I don't know. I have a soft spot for Miller Lite because, like, there was this one summer, I forget which year of college it was, where every single night we'd end up at Tom Mansell's house, like almost every single night. Yeah. My buddy Matt Carlton was home from the Marines, and we would go to Dunkin' Donuts. We would get there at like midnight. We would just drink coffee and eat donuts and bullshit, and we'd end up at Tom Mansell in Tom Mansell's basement, drinking his dad's Miller Lite. in Tom Mansell's unfinished basement with cement falls, and he had a pool table, and every night we'd end up there. And that was one of the best summers because like the party, like activities would get started at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We'd like drive around. Sometimes we'd go out to a bar. Wait, no, I think Tom Mansell was still 20 at the time.
Yeah.
So he couldn't go out. So, but all the rest of us were 21. So we could go out, but that's how we get it around. I mean, it would be the summertime. We'd probably go swim in his pool and just drink Miller Lite. So I have a soft spot for Miller Lite, man.
Nice.
Chris McCarthy, getting back to you. 13-hour Delta flight from Detroit to Beijing. Oh, he did Detroit to Beijing. Actually, 13 hours, that's the same amount of time it is from New York to Auckland. So, but he did it in the pods. Freaking amazing. Ruined normal airline seats for me forever. I slept pretty good on the way to New Zealand because I took Dramamine, and that's lights out. Yeah. That will put you to sleep at 12 noon if you take that. It's like an hour into it, you're gone. There's a reason Modest Mouse wrote an album about it. And actually, no, that's a title track to This Is a Long Drive for someone with nothing to think about. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And the first song is just called Dramamine. It's like swallowing, tripping on Dramamine, which I did once in Alaska because I was fucking bored. I just took 3. I think there was one time I took 4 Dramamine just to see what it was. And I saw like green lights, like little green lights. I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah, no, that's yeesh.
I mean, it's mad tranquilizers is what you're taking. I mean, it's a sedative. I mean, that's the reason you don't get air sick with Dramamine. Dramamine is an air sickness pill. So yeah, someone says Aurora Borealis. I saw indoor Aurora Borealis. Yeah. All Dramamine is a sedative, and that's why it stops you from throwing up. Anyway, so I slept on the plane because of Dramamine, but on the way back, the flight boarded at like 5 in the afternoon. So I guess we got to like 6 or 7 p.m. on the flight. I took some regular sleeping pills. It did nothing. I got to the DoubleTree in Culver City. I slept for 12 hours. It was amazing. I think it's one of those things where you sleep, you get up to pee, and then you go out again.
Yeah, like what happened to me in the UK, except that flight was only 6 hours. But for some reason, I was dead to the world once I got to the UK. And I woke up briefly, saw you left a note that said you went out to go get food. Then I just went back to sleep. Yeah. And then next thing I know, it's like morning. I'm just like, an entire day lost. But I mean, like the same thing happened to me on both ways of the New Zealand flight. I was more or less just conked out, like, because I didn't even take anything. It's just, I can't remember the last flight that I was on where I didn't just sleep through the whole thing. Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess it's kind of.
Did you sleep through the flight to New Zealand? Or
no? Yeah, totally.
That's amazing.
Flight attendant kept waking me up to be, sir, would you like, I'm not going to do it. But if I wanted like food or anything, basically I was only being woken up to consume something.
That was the one thing. I probably could have slept through the entire flight, but I woke up to the smell of strudel, like warm apples. Yeah. And I'm like, and it's not like, I paid for this. But then you ate food and now your blood sugar is up again and you're awake again. I'm like, I shouldn't have done this.
But here's the thing that gets me every time is they'll wake me up to consume things, but not on one single international flight has anyone woken me up to fill out the freaking card. Yeah. It's just like the card, and then I get there and everyone's like, present the card. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The card?
You know what? When I came back to Los Angeles, like back in America, there was no card.
Huh.
And I'm like, there's no card. And I'm looking around and like, no one else is filling out this. So I get and I'm like, I get to the little thing where you place your passport down and put your hand over it and take your glasses off and it scans your face. And I went through and I got my little ticket and I went up to disinterested man because it's 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's just, I hand him my passport. He's like, all right, no questions, go. And like,
just like, because 6:30 in the morning, he's probably already seen like 200 people.
I know, an entire 787 Dreamliner just came in, Here come the fanny packs and the bellies. The Child's Life says, drink a bottle of water between each shot and you won't get a headache. Alcohol dehydrates you. Yeah, it does. Come visit us at hashtag #CarsCars. We love your vid. Like come to IRC. Like I gotta download Merc again. MIRC or use some browser chat. Dude, like 2003 was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, that's when I graduated high school.
Yeah. What next? Like internet relay chat? Oh wait, that's IRC. Yeah, IRC. MIRC. Then I forget what M stands for.
Yeah, modem.
Man, I think you're too young for mucks.
Yeah, no, I'm
multi-user dungeon something. Okay, Divide has a question here, but I am going to hydrate with some seltzer water. It's a New Zealand question.
Oh, yeah.
Benadryl something. I'm sure there's a regular question there.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So let's see. Martin K's guy wrote it. Review T55 tank. Let's see. Microsoft Internet Relay Chat. No. Or was it mobile Internet Relay Chat? Regular question reviews. Yeah. I don't know. Life, humanity. How's things with you guys? I mean, if I've learned anything about doing videos on my own for, bonus content, it's realizing that if I'm going to record audio, I'm going to have to do it here because it's
too... Oh, did you just have to record something?
Not today. I can do it Friday when we write, assuming we write.
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah. So I just, after that, like the review's already written. So all I have to do is just like say the things. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be nice. Hi, Roman. How is your Stang holding up? What is a car you really want to review? I would like to review a Pontiac Sunfire because that would be hilarious. But also my Mustang's fine. Just took it in for inspection, got the sticker. Each year the sticker it's pushed back by a month. So when I first got her, it was January, then February, then March, and now it's just blah blah blah.
Yeah,
life.
Divide. Hey, $5 NZ. Hey, Mr. R. Chris from Queenstown here. Hello, Chris. Missing good coffee yet? Yes, I am. Good to see you, and hope Roman can join you next time. Yeah, it's not going to be Nick next time for RC3. See, Nick really wants to go back to the UK.
Yeah,
like as of now, we found our countries where we want to go.
They're in opposite
directions.
Yeah, it's hilarious because my thing is I had wanted to go to the UK since I was a kid because I grew up an Anglophile. I loved everything British, English, Irish. I just loved those things, but like I never had those opportunities. So it's insane to me that I ever had the opportunity to go in the first place. And, I loved every minute of being there, but it's also trying to figure out, because like the concept of a vacation is so foreign to me, of where I almost feel weird if I'm not doing something. Like if I take some time off and it's just for me, like that would feel weird because everything I do, I would be thinking of how I could monetize this or monetize that. I'd also like to go back to LA because, it's weird, but I like LA. Like, I know that intellectually you're not supposed to enjoy Los Angeles, but,
right.
And I promise this has nothing to do with the fact that Angela White lives there, but it's the fact that I just sort of like that whole, the weather, it's very inviting. And also it's a lot of Hollywood stuff. And I'm very much a pop culture guy. So it just ends up being, I don't know. It's a nice place to me.
There was this one moment, and I think it was probably his Workforce 520, where I was walking along the beach walk in Malibu. Like, what do you want to do? Well, let's go to the Malibu kitchen and just see if we see somebody. And we had our sandwich, and of course it's very good. And we just, two dudes walking along the beach. and there was a homeless guy there, and we pass him, and this homeless guy yells, Lance Armstrong can suck my motherfucking dick.
But why?
I guess there's some people bike riding on the bike path by the beach.
You just get the idea that if you're there long enough, just everyone becomes Joey Diaz.
Yeah,
like just that's just how they talk.
Back to Chris's question. Missing good coffee yet? Yes, I had an Instagram post where I poured coffee in a blender to try to emulate a flat white, and then some Kiwis got into it and said, "Good effort, wrong way." Because finally learned what a flat white is. It's not a cappuccino. Cappuccino has espresso, steamed milk, and then the milk foam. A flat white is a double shot of espresso and just the foam. That's it on the top. I haven't seen it advertised anywhere here. I didn't see it at the Bagel Bar in Kutztown.
It's only Starbucks.
Only Starbucks?
Yeah, I think it's a Starbucks thing because...
Fuck me if I'm going to the Starbucks.
Yeah, no. It's because the whole thing with it is that you're now relying on a teenager who's maybe only ever made this once before in training to now get your flat white New Zealand quality.
Yeah.
And that's not happening.
No.
Like, not today, not tomorrow. It's not. So, yeah.
The thing that I miss about New Zealand flat whites is that you cannot consume the entire drink because you're left with this sea foam of milk froth and maybe cinnamon and brown on the inside of the glass that it becomes solid, and maybe you can scrape it out and go, And the thing is, though, in New Zealand, like, I never got like the heavy coffee buzz like I get here.
Yeah.
Because we dine in quantity in the US. And there is something to said for when we have our big thing of coffee and we write every week. I get that, and I'm ready to rock and ready to roll. But in New Zealand, there never is that Super Saiyan power up move. It's just like, coffee.
Yeah, when we were at the one beach that had the cafe nearby, and
Seaside Cabaret, Petone.
No, but like the Maraetai, beach.
Oh, that one.
There was a cafe nearby while you were doing point of view drives, and I would walk over to that cafe. I ended up having to go to that cafe twice because the coffee wasn't strong enough the first time. Yeah, I still wasn't feeling anything. And, I needed to feel that in a very American way, that sense of
trucker buzz.
Yeah. But also the big thing about flat whites is that Starbucks, a flat white is very much about the container in which it's held. And Starbucks, you're only ever going to get those containers. You're not going to get a mug. You're not going to get something that is, glass or fired clay.
I really almost wanted to buy a mug that just said Seaside Cabaret, Petone, New Zealand on it.
Yeah, it'd be very nice.
NZ3 2021, possibly Tony Airlines is going to come.
Oh, there it is.
So, okay. Good to see you. That was like a good 10 minutes just on flat whites from New Zealand. Hope Roman can join you next time. No, he isn't coming. MR2 is finally running too. Awesome. Good to hear that. Ronnie, also from New Zealand. Looking forward to more of your New Zealand vids. Every day this week, man. Did you enjoy Queenstown, and did you see any really standout cars? Not within Queenstown itself. Okay. Queenstown, this is my impression of Queenstown. Queenstown is Malibu, California, mixed with Aspen, Colorado, mixed with Martha's Vineyard. It is a hyper rich tourist town in New Zealand. Like everything we've seen so far in New Zealand is very, very quaint, very nice, a little on the pricey side, but it's island prices. Queenstown is there. They don't really have a Vegas, but Queenstown was very rich. This is where, and I mean this in every sort of sense of fun extravagance, in a did you see Crazy Rich Asians?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how that just was like, I mean, it was a comedy. I mean, it's a rom-com.
Yeah.
But, okay. I'm sorry for not knowing the comedian's name. He was in The Hangover.
Zach Galifianakis.
No, Mr. Chow.
Oh, Dr. Ken.
Dr. Ken
Jeong.
Yeah, like he's in it. The Queenstown was kind of that because that's where everybody from Singapore and Hong Kong and China and everybody goes to Queenstown. I mean, it's everybody, and Americans too. More Americans than I've ever seen than anywhere else. Like getting served by an American, like in a cafe, getting my flat white from someone with an American accent, which is weird.
Yeah.
But this is where people go for like work study and everything. Queenstown is about the size of. It's tiny.
Yeah, if you look, I think its Wikipedia page is it from a distance, and it kind of looks like the casino planet from The Last Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
There, but there's not a lot of it.
No, there's not.
But once you get in there, it's opulence.
Dude, there was a Louis Vuitton store on the beach.
That's ridiculous. That's absurd. Now, granted, there's a Louis Vuitton store in the King of Prussia Mall.
Right.
And there's a line to get into it, even though you're already indoors.
Yeah.
And you're just, but that's just a level of opulence that, for as much as I want to be well off for the rest of my life, I kind of hope I never get to that level of, because that's the type of level that's going to change you. And suddenly you're Kanye and you're ranting about, is Rogan ever going to do that Kanye interview?
I so hope he does.
I hope so.
I
want to hear that so bad.
Hey.
Cheese it.
I just want to have
Oh, shoot. Main Street closed down? They got a dude out there directing traffic. Let's see. There's a dude out there directing traffic as multiple law enforcement vehicles pass by. They're going down Main Street. Fire truck. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit closer. I'll turn on a scanner. I had a scanner app when we were in New Zealand because I wanted to hear what was happening in Philly during the Super Bowl. And now I don't have that app anymore. And let's be real, I'm not going to turn it on. But traffic report. Yeah. What's weird is that we can't actually see what it is that happened because it's just outside the range of the windows. I mean, like, I'm not going to open the windows, but it's another fire truck. Man. All right. Well, I'm going to look up.
I see another fire truck. This one's big.
Oh, man. Big fire truck. Another one from another town over.
Fire trucks coming from other towns.
Huh. That is bad news. And I am going to look it up on the internet. To the rescue. Oh, and I misspelled the name of the thing. So yeah, this is. I'm sure this is riveting.
I'm gonna check my local Facebook webpage.
Do it.
Just to see what's happening.
Let's see the latest.
I'm sure someone's gonna say something.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
It's not in the town I'm thinking of because if it was, you'd have fire guys coming from other places. Anyway, Ronnie, New Zealand, says, looking forward to more New Zealand vids. Did you enjoy Queenstown? And did you see you really standout cars? It was the old dirty BC. Ruben's Car Club for Subaru guys was what I enjoyed. I didn't really see any supercars in New Zealand. It was mostly just because everybody who's coming from New Zealand is flying in. So they're just getting like car services and there's just a whole bunch of Toyota Hiaces. So no really standout cars in New Zealand or in Queenstown, New Zealand. Excuse me. Byron Guernsey says, do you plan on coming to Michigan anytime soon? Thank you for your generous donation, Byron. Brighton Guernsey. No, as of now, no. I kind of want to check off the bucket list of going to the northern peninsula of Michigan. I kind of want to do that and say that I swam in Lake Superior and then look at it and listen to the Gordon Lightfoot song. But as of that, not really. Mr. Miser just asked me if I like memes. All right.
Who doesn't?
Everyone say a prayer from whoever the rescuers are coming to help.
Yeah.
Like when I hear fire trucks go along right now or going along in my town, usually it's, somebody fell asleep smoking a cigarette, you know, and it's that. But now this is 3 fire trucks deep into something serious. So
yeah,
I have to pee, and I'm going to go honestly check the Facebook page and see what all that was about.
And I'm downloading Broadcastify, which is a police scanner app, with the hopes that it will give me information. The information that I do in fact crave. Because reasons. I mean, I don't know that I'm actually going to learn anything, but it's also a case of feeling like once your curiosity gets tickled, but also you feel wrong for having it be tickled because you know that this is a really shitty day for somebody. So
no one knows anything.
Nobody
Going to pee now.
Let's see. Global feed. Wow, my feed's near my current location. Let's see. Is anything going on tonight? Oh, I love you, girl. Is anything going on tonight? Oh, wait, no. I need to turn this off so I can hear this. Let's see. Streaming live. Anything?
347 is cool. 47. I don't know if you copied myself from 4711, clear. I copied. Correct
2045. Yeah, it's they're not really communicating on this. But, hopefully everyone is okay, and hopefully everyone gets to go home and be safe with their loved ones. But I don't know.
They're all headed northbound, so I guess it's in town. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that they have 146 current listeners, so I guess there are other curious people.
What is it? Does it say anything else on there?
No, just this is the one that the nearest one.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming they'd be the ones covering it, but yeah, no one said anything else on
that.
This.
That reminds me, I need to make another vaporwave track, or it's more of trance music of just air traffic control chatter. We got it in CB radio with most police frequencies. You can also check something. BOF-RANG, Baofeng radios if you're interested. Hey, Mr. Regular, any Carlisle plans this year? The spring show. The spring show is coming up at the end of April. I'm probably going to be down in Orlando when they come. This one is the biggest, along with the fall show. I always mean to come to the spring show, but like the import show is that time. But I think I'm going to be down just hanging out with Freddie Hernandez. Question about Detroit. It's probably the Dream Cruise. Aren't you guys coming to the Woodward Dream Cruise this year?
Yeah.
If so, I have it on the calendar that I got to do the Woodward Dream Cruise in Michigan. And because I said I was going to do it, I don't know how to do it. It's like, what am I going to do there apart from watch cars drive down the street? I know it's one of the things you're supposed to do as a car guy, and well, it gets me out of town and gets me to be around people.
Yeah.
Because today I had, I even made a tweet about it, that I had the crushing loneliness.
Yeah.
Like, oh, great. I'm done editing for today. Holy crap, I have no life. All I do is edit video and don't do anything. And you know, part of it is just the depression that I'm not in New Zealand anymore. So, but I drove to KU, drove out to Kutztown University, hung out in the radio station, and just wrapped myself in a blanket of college talk, because there were other students there just talking about college things. And I'm like, you guys have your gang. I used to be part of this gang.
Yeah.
You guys will go off and study and go back to your dorm room and sleep on your mattresses on top of the woven springs, and you will eat the dorm room food, and it may be God on his throne, it may be the university president, but for these years come and all things are provided for you. I miss that. I miss the assurance of, you know who you are. You are a student.
Yeah.
You have these duties. Now, I remember also being back then, and all I wanted to do is make funny videos with my friends and fuck historical geology. This is stupid. Why do I have to take all these weird classes? So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, someone asked, or Cresser777 asked about my take on Alex Trebek, because on my Instagram at the Roman Nick, I basically did live watches of Jeopardy sometimes. And basically, I haven't been able to watch Jeopardy in a while because if I'm not over at my mom's house, like, I don't really have TV over in the apartment. It's just whatever. But for the most part, it's really sad in that, well, I mean, it's sad in the way it's sad when anyone gets diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. You know, it's just hard because you think of Alex Trebek, or the royal you, as someone who is always going to be there. You know, that constant presence throughout your entire life, even though, maybe you didn't always watch Jeopardy, but he was always there, and his voice kind of sounded like dinner almost being ready. Like, that's kind of what it was to me, because he'd come on at like 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And, in Puerto Rican, we eat dinner late. So it's one of those things where I can't imagine not having him around. Life in the 413 says I can't imagine TV without him. And it's,
all the sound effects of the board lighting up.
Yeah, it's just not the same. The same wouldn't be without, like, the announcer Charlie. It's just. But at the end of the day, it was a job that he was kind of on his way out. Like, I don't think once his 3-year contract that he's on now is up that he was going to re-sign. Like, I always kind of figured he was in the home stretch of his time on the show, and that they were going to get maybe like Ken Jennings or someone to replace him. And that's probably like the popular choice for it, but it's not going to be the same as Alex Trebek. He's someone very much in a Bob Barker mold who made his program iconic. And, it's something that I imagine there were a lot of people who will watch the show regardless. But I imagine that whether he retires or whether, sadly, he passes, it's going to be hard watching it without him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I will come back around to being someone who is super into Jeopardy again, but I think it would take a while after he departs to be able to watch like I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
How long do you think Drew Carey's going to still do Price is
I don't
Right?
know, but I never, okay, sometimes I was at my mom's this afternoon doing laundry, right? And it was around the time when The Price is Right was on, and every time that Drew Carey, like, I get that people like him because he's a likable guy, but every time I see him doing The Price is Right, he seems like he would rather be anywhere else in the world.
He is a dirty comedian.
Yeah. It feels.
I remember reading his book, Dirty Jokes and Beer, and there's this one chapter called 101 Dick Jokes.
Yeah.
101 big dick jokes. This is like from the late 90s.
Yeah.
Like, because the Drew Carey show, it was just like this fun. Well, that was like really the golden age, like golden age of the sitcom or the silver age of the sitcom in the 90s. I don't know.
Oh, well, it was a pretty great age regardless in terms of like ratings and everything.
But he has this one chapter, Drew Carey, just called 101 Big Dick Jokes. And I remember some of them was like, it was him and some other comedian who would just come back and forth. My dick is so big that blank. And I remember reading this and just not stop laughing on the band bus. And some of the bits were, my dick is so big I can fuck a trombone. My dick is so big clowns come out of it when I come. My dick is so big I can fuck an elevator shaft. My dick is so big it has its own dick, and even my dick's dick is bigger than your dick. My dick has been overthrown by a communist dictatorship, and now it is known as the People's Republic of my dick.
It's strange in that I think of Drew Carey. So like when he first was announced for the gig, I just thought of him as someone who wasn't going to be a lifer the way that Bob Barker was in his role in the show. In that there were people who were like, I think Mario Lopez, Slater from Saved by the Bell, was like in the running because he's a professional presenter now.
Yeah.
And he's someone I could easily see doing the job forever because it's like, and not to disparage, mi gente, but like it's, I don't know what else is Mario Lopez going to do,
Yeah.
So might as well just do The Price is Right.
Yeah.
But Drew Carey, like he seems like the type of guy who's going to want to do something else eventually and isn't going to feel fulfilled doing it. Like he seems so unenthused doing it.
Right.
And
I wonder how many tapings they do a day.
I have no idea, but that just seems like such an exhausting job.
Yeah.
And the whole bit, there are little things that drive me nuts because I don't remember if Bob Barker did this or not, but like when you spin the big wheel, he asked if the person wants to say hi to anybody. So we're focusing on the contestant doing all these random shout outs that no one cares about, the same way that my own private circle of hell is the getting to know the contestants portion of Jeopardy on an endless loop because I don't care. But this whole thing is that, you're not focusing on the wheel, and I just kind of intellectually I hate things that take away from focusing on the game. So I just want to be back at the game, and that, and Drew Carey, he'll like count down, 35 or 40. 35 over 40 is what you need to advance. 35 over 40. And he'll continue like that as the wheel is spinning, like a robot that has been broken in some effect. And I like Drew Carey. It's just I don't think he's the right fit for The Price is Right.
The thing about Bob Barker is like the juicy thing is like watching him, in the back of his mind, it's just pussy in the back of this. Like, gonna bang some big hair. Probably have. Got some side piece for my side piece.
He's just throwing it around. I mean, but it's a steady gig and it's good work if you can get it.
Yeah.
So I understand, and it's why I would always, I don't know, maybe I just miss certain aspects of The Price is Right growing up. So yeah.
I'm trying to understand this one comment. This is so hooking, but I got 10% and high score. Girl paused. I might have to plug in and watch the show. Take care. Watch the stream.
Huh.
Didn't Bob get in trouble for banging? Yeah, I mean, he banged the girls and he got some sort of fine and he got reprimanded, but he didn't care.
Yeah, because I don't recall if he was called out for unwanted sexual advances or that he got caught banging one of the models by human resources, and you're just not supposed to do that, and that's what he got in trouble for. See, I'm sure someone more educated than I will be able to it's fine. Be able to answer this about whatever it is that he did.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, Paul Basta, thank you for your $2.
Who else hates Roman reviews and skips them?
Well, we read your thing. Thank you very much.
I mean, I'm not the one who spent money to ask that, which is fine.
Fine.
That is your right. And also, I go into the our cars things, and basically, there will be people who say, well, I like the topic, but I just can't get into his voice. And so I'll respond and say, like, that is an absolutely perfectly fair thing to say, and then thank them for, hey, giving it a spot or a shot. Like if they say, hey, I only listened to like a minute, but I couldn't get through it. I'm like, well, hey, thank you for the minute, you know, because nothing is guaranteed. And also anything that, and this is something that it took me a while to get around to accepting, to the point where like now I actually want to make more reviews on my own, in that I realize that sometimes people like the content that they've always gotten. And if they don't get that, it's kind of one of those things where they want to, just sort of express I get it, because I'm a pro wrestling fan of why people would say these types of things, ironically enough, against another Roman. Yeah. But that's one of those things where and now I'm repeating myself, but essentially it doesn't really bug me that much when people get upset about the reviews. It will bug me if there's something wrong with it, like I missed something or I did something. Yeah,
like wrong. I called a 2002 Nissan Primera a 1995, and I'm like, sorry about doing that. It's just I think about the 90s a lot.
Yeah. But I think also a part of it is that I've always really had like pretty low self-esteem, and it's built up like exponentially through this, and I've been able to do things that I never thought my anxiety would allow me to do, all because of this amazing, random, crazy thing that I get to do. And so I realized this just goes with the territory. Like if I can't take people, like if I get upset that not everybody likes me, then I am in the wrong profession.
Right.
Like when I was a kid, like all I wanted to do was make a living writing. And I'm doing that now. So I have absolutely, like, people are welcome to say all sorts of, whatever. Right. Like, I don't really care as long as they don't, like, it's not anything.
Mr. Before your comment goes to the top of the screen, which it has, but you asked, what is my opinion of zero motorcycles? Oh, I've got an opinion. Because while I was in New Zealand, I didn't make a video about this because it was a me vacation, but I rode a zero motorcycle over the Rimataka Hill Pass. The zero motorcycle is great. It could do with a fatter rear tire, but I understand why they put a thin one on there to reduce rolling resistance and get some better mileage out of that thing. It has a very poor mileage. Like its range is 90 kilometers, which is like 50 miles. That's all the farther it can go. But it goes pretty darn quick, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a very pure version of motorcycling because you hear everything.
Yeah.
It is just dead silent, except for that it comes up. It's fun. It's like a Tron motorcycle. I love Tron. It's great. The guy I was lent this bike for a day from a guy who worked for Weta, because of course he did. Weta Digital or Weta Workshop, I forget which. Oh, it was Weta Digital, and he worked on a movie that's coming out very, 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 very soon that he can't talk about, and he knows what happened. He was on some of the special effects. It's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah.
It's that big one.
Yeah.
So the one. So the sequel. So that's it. And he was an American too. He was very Northern Californian.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was married or not, but he's been living in New Zealand for at least 5 years. And I'm like, and every now and again, I kind of do the math. Like, could I move to New Zealand? And the answer really when I'm back here is no, because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go. There's the same roads, the same places. It's yeah, I guess outdoorsy and go hiking and stuff like that, but it is a kind of insular place. And
I imagine you like Homer in You Only Move Twice, where he gets the job with Hank Scorpio.
Yeah.
And everything is perfect. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But something is off.
Yeah.
It's like everything you ever wanted, but it's not what necessarily you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Paul Basta says, way to take a punch. I'm liking you more.
Cheers.
Thank you for being a good sport. Hopefully we'll be as good a sport as Patrick Stewart can be. Yeah. D3x3 something Gangstar. How much buns are you slaying on Twitter? Well, none, because I deleted my Twitter app.
Oh, you mean Tinder?
Tinder,
yeah.
Yeah, Tinder.
Because the Tinder, the last time I went on a Tinder date was maybe in like January, and it wasn't really a date. It was just more of like we're meeting in a public place to ensure that the other person isn't crazy.
Yeah.
And so it was at Barnes and Noble, and yeah, it was basically, hey, let's walk around and look at thank you. And look at books and other weird random collectibles that they have. They have these weird dolls that are called like fugglers that are just ugly looking dolls with very like deeply articulated teeth that makes them even more creepy. So it's just, but nothing came of it, and that's fine. Nothing comes of most of those things, and that's fine too, because I can't imagine where I would fit a relationship into this, because like I'm not trying to be in one, but also I miss the feeling of belonging to somebody.
Yeah.
Like having someone, it's that feeling of, well, a lot of people get weighted blankets because it helps with anxiety, but also because it creates the simulation of like being held in a way. And so I'm like, shit, I need to get a weighted blanket.
That's something I miss. Yeah. Being touch starved is a real thing.
Yeah.
But that's something you can't put on a dating profile because that's a red flag.
Yeah. I can't. That's the thing. They want you to be truthful on your dating profile, but realistically, anyone who is actually on their dating profile is going to send up like so many red flags that you're going to think you're watching Double Dare.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I just, I got to get out of saying one of those things, but it really is a situation where you end up sort of just disqualifying yourself before you even get into it. And the thing is, I'm not necessarily, I don't know what I want. Like I'll say, I don't know what I want. I want something that's more than casual, but less than a relationship.
Yeah.
I want something that's sitting right in the middle ground of, I don't have to talk to you all the time.
Yeah. I want what Patrice O'Neill wanted. Like, I don't want to be, I want to be alone, but I don't want to be by myself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is, just like every now and again, which isn't a friends with benefits, but I'm cool if you don't want to live here. Yeah. I'm fine with once a week, snuggle time at bed. And I'm also like you, whoever you are, the mysterious you, is going to not be dependent on me for a damn thing.
Yeah.
You are.
Except validation. I'll give validation.
I'll
throw that out like Halloween candy.
Yeah.
But it's just don't get upset if it it's like my last girlfriend. It was just the whole thing. Everything I said was wrong. It was like everything was wrong. And so it's just, it kind of gave me this weird sense of inadequacy in terms of like my capabilities as a boyfriend, because I think, well, what if everything else I do is wrong? And it's ugh.
Yeah.
Can of worms. But
Yeah. Well, I don't want to end on that note.
No, I realized we never broke out the sign.
Yeah, we never broke out the sign.
Because-
It just kind of worked its way out anyway. We're almost coming up on 2 hours anyway. It's 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I had a chicken breast, but no vegetables to go along with it.
Yeah.
I will have another chicken breast. And, well, I'm going to make rice anyway because I need it to tomorrow. And I still did do color correction. And probably later tonight, I will play Kerbal Spray's program and try to get to the moon. The chat's dying down anyway, although there's still 187 people watching. So, hey, it's just 6 p.m. in Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm thinking next winter for my Escape the Winter thing, because that was really nice. Getting off that plane in Auckland, and it's 80 degrees. I'm like, how nice is this? So I'm thinking Phoenix or something like that.
Never been to Arizona.
Never been to Arizona. Just do RCR Phoenix like next February. Like at the end of February, I got my skiing in. I'm good. The end of February. Actually, no, it's really got to be March.
Yeah, it has to be March because that's when like it really hits around here.
Yeah,
like the winter, they're just like you thought you were
done. No, yeah, it's spring. Not I thought it's spring.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
It's
like
winter again.
Yeah,
March is the time to leave PA. It
really is. It really is. Or maybe like RCR Vegas.
We still haven't done Vegas.
We got UFC while we're down there.
We got tons of submissions in Vegas.
Yeah, but it's a lot to sort of take in. But I love the idea of just an escape from the weather trip.
Yeah.
That's just kind of hilarious.
People saying Phoenix is prime in March.
Yeah.
We call it fake spring. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up.
Thank you so much for joining us. This will be going up on iTunes either tonight or tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And until next time, I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
Have a great one, everyone.
Take it easy.
Bathroom.